Hello, ladies and gents. A new day opens, a new day beginning as we draw closer to Jehovah. Why don't you draw closer to Jehovah, getting to know him personally as we dig deeper into the mist of what seems like a mere future? It's what you make it, isn't it? It's what you make it. Do you look bright and dandy? Do you look motivated? Do you look smilefully? Are you going to endure the last days? Why don't you draw closer to Jehovah? Page 170. Far into the future. It is elegantly simple, yet so profound that a Bible reader could spend a rewarding lifetime in studying and contemplate it. Furthermore, Jehovah's purpose is absolutely sure of success. He'll put an end to all wickedness, sin, and death. He'll bring faithful mankind to perfection. All this come about before the seventh day ends, so that despite everything, Jehovah will have fulfilled his purpose for the earth and mankind right on schedule. Such wisdom inspires awe, does it not? Apostle Paul was moved to write, "Oh, the depth of God's wisdom." As we undertake a study of various aspects of this divine quality, humility should move us to keep a vital truth in mind that at, at best, we can only scratch the surface of Jehovah's vast wisdom. First, let us define this awe inspiring quality. What is divine wisdom? What is divine wisdom? Wisdom is not the same as knowledge. Computers can store enormous amounts of knowledge, but it is hard to imagine anyone calling such machines wise. Nonetheless, knowledge and wisdom are related. For instance, if you need wise counsel on treating a serious health problem, would you consult someone with little or no knowledge of medicine? Hardly. So accurate knowledge is essential to true wisdom. Jehovah has a boundless store of knowledge. As a king of eternity, he alone has been alive forever. And during all those untold ages, he has been aware of everything. The Bible says there is not a creation that is hidden from his sight, but all things are naked and openly exposed to eyes of the one to whom we must give an account. As the Creator, Jehovah has full understanding of what he has made, and he has observed all human activity from the start. He examines each human's heart, missing nothing. Having created us a free moral agent, he is pleased when he sees that we are making wise choices in life. As the hero of prayer, he listens to countless expressions at once, and needless to say, Jehovah has a perfect memory. Jehovah has more than knowledge. He also sees how facts interrelate and discerns a whole picture that is created by myriad details. He evaluates and judges, distinguishing between good and bad, important and trivial. Moreover, he looks beyond the surface and peers right into the heart. Thus, Jehovah has understanding and discernment, qualities that are superior to knowledge, but wisdom is of a still higher order. Wisdom brings knowledge, discernment, and understanding together and puts them to work. In fact, some unoriginal Bible words translated wisdom literally mean effectual working or practical wisdom. So Jehovah's wisdom is not merely theoretical, it is practical. and it works, drawing upon his breadth of knowledge and his depth of understanding. Jehovah always makes the best decisions possible, carrying them out by means of the best course of action conceivable. That is true wisdom. Jehovah demonstrates the truth of Jesus' statement. Wisdom is proved righteous by its works. Jehovah's works throughout the universe give power testimony to his wisdom. Have you ever marveled at the ingenuity of a craftsman who makes beautiful things that work well? That is an impressive type of wisdom. Jehovah himself is a source of and ultimate possessor of such wisdom. King David said of Jehovah, I praise you because in an awe-inspiring way I'm wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know this very well. Indeed, the more we learn about the human body, the more we find ourselves awed by Jehovah's wisdom. To illustrate, you started as a single cell, an egg cell from your mother, fertilized by sperm from your father. Soon, that cell started to divide. You, the end product, are made of some 100 trillion cells. They are tiny, about 10,000 average sized cells would fit on the head of a pin, yet each one is a creation of mind-boggling complexity. The cell is far more intricate than any man-made machine or factory. Scientists say that a cell is like a walled city, one with controlled entries and exits, a transportation system, communications network, power plant, production plants, waste disposals, and recycling facilities, defence agencies, and even a sort of central government in its nucleus. Furthermore, the cell can make a complete replica of itself within just a few hours. Not all cells are the same, of course. As the cells that embryo continue to divide, they assume very different functions. Some will be nerve cells, other bone, muscle, blood, or hair cells. All such differentiation is programmed into the cell's library of genetic blueprints, the DNA. Interestingly, David was inspired to say to Jehovah, your eyes even saw me as an embryo. All its parts were written in your book. Some body parts are immensely complex. Consider, for example, the human brain. Some have called it the most complex object yet discovered in the universe. It contains some 100 billion nerve cells, perhaps as many as a number of stars in your galaxy. Each of those cells branches off into thousands of connections with other cells. Scientists say that human brain could contain all information in the world's libraries, and that its storage capacity may, in fact, be unfathomable. Despite decades of studying this wonderfully made organ, scientists admit that they may never fully understand how it works. Humans, however, are just one example of Jehovah's creative wisdom. It says, how many your works are, O Jehovah. You have made all of them in wisdom. The earth is full of what you have made. Jehovah's wisdom is apparent in every creation around us. The ant, for example, is instinctively wise. Indeed, ant colonies are superbly organized. Some ant colonies tend, shelter, and draw nourishment from insects called aphids, as if they were livestock, and other ants act as farmers, raising and cultivating crops. Of fungus, many other creatures have been programmed to do remarkable things by instinct. A common fly performs acrobatic feats that the most advanced of a man's aircraft cannot duplicate. Migrating birds navigate by the stars, by the orientation of the Earth's magnetic field, or by some form of eternal map. Biologists spend years studying the sophisticated behaviours that have been programmed into these creatures. How wise, then, the divine programmer must be. Scientists have learned much from Jehovah's creative wisdom. There is even a field of engineering called biometrics that seeks to mimic designs found in nature, for instance. You may have gazed in wonder at the beauty of the spider web, but an engineer sees it as a marvel of design. Some frail-looking strands are proportionately stronger than steel, tougher than the fibres in a bulletproof vest. Just how strong? Imagine a spiderweb enlarged in the scale until it is the size of the net used on a fishing boat. Such a web could catch a passenger plane in mid-flight. Yes, Jehovah has made all such things in wisdom. Wisdom beyond the earth. Jehovah's wisdom is evident in his works throughout the universe. The starry heavens, which we discussed at some length in chapter 5, are not scattered haphazardly throughout space, thanks to the wisdom of Jehovah's celestial laws. The heavens are beautifully organized into structured galaxies that in turn are grouped into clusters that in turn combine to form superclusters. The New Jerusalem Bible, no wonder that Jehovah refers to the heavenly bodies as the army. There is another army, though, that even more vividly demonstrates Jehovah's wisdom. As noted in chapter 4, God bears the little title Jehovah of Armies because of his position of the supreme commander of the vast army of hundreds of millions of spiritual creatures. This is proof of Jehovah's power. How, though, is his wisdom involved? Consider Jehovah and Jesus are never idle. It stands to reason. Then what the angelic minister of the Most High are likewise always busy. And remember, they are higher than man, super intelligent and super powerful. Yet Jehovah has kept all those angels busily, happily engaged in fulfilling work, carrying out his word and doing his will for billions of years. How awesome the wisdom of this administrator must be. Jehovah alone is wise. In view of such evidence, is it another wonder that the Bible shows Jehovah's wisdom? To the superlative, for example, it says that Jehovah alone is wise. Jehovah alone possesses wisdom in the absolute sense. He is the source of all true wisdom. That is why Jesus, though the wisest of Jehovah's creatures, did not rely on his own wisdom, but spoke as his Father directed him. Notice how the Apostle Paul expressed the uniqueness of Jehovah's wisdom. Oh, the depth of God's riches and wisdoms and knowledges. How unsearchable his judgments are, and beyond tracing out of his ways are. By opening the verse with the exclamation, "Oh," Paul showed strong emotion. in this case, profound awe. The Greek word he chose for depth is closely related to the word abios, hence his word evoke a vivid mental picture. When we contemplate Jehovah's wisdom, it is as we are gazing into a limitless, bottomless chasm, a realm so deep, so vast that we can never again grasp its immensity. Let alone trace it out or map it in detail. Is that not to a humbling thought? Jehovah alone, he is wise. In another sense, only he is able to peer into the future. Remember, Jehovah uses the far-seeing eagle to symbolize divine wisdom. A golden eagle may weigh a mere 10 pounds, but its eyes are larger than those of a full-grown man. The eagle's eyesight is amazingly keen, enabling the bird to spot tiny prey from thousands of feet aloft. Perhaps even from miles away, Jehovah himself once said of the eagle, his eyes look far in the distance. In a similar sense, Jehovah can look far in the distance of time, the future. The Bible is full of evidence that is true. It contains hundreds of prophecies or history written in advance. The outcomes of wars, the rise and fall of the world powers, and even the specific battle strategies of military commanders were all foretold in the Bible in some cases. Hundreds of years in advance. Does this mean, though, that God has already foreseen the choices you will make in life? Some who preach the doctrine of predestination insist that the answer is yes. However, that notion actually undermines Jehovah's wisdom, for it implies that he cannot control his ability to look into the future. To illustrate, if you had a singing voice or of unparalleled beauty, would you then have no choice but to sing all the time? Notion is absurd. Likewise, Jehovah has the ability to foreknow the future, but he does not use it all the time. To do so might infringe upon our own free will, a precious gift that Jehovah will never revoke. Worse yet, the very notion of predestination suggests that Jehovah's wisdom is cold, devoid of heart, feeling, or compassion, but nothing could be further from the truth. The Bible teaches that Jehovah is wise in heart. Not that he has a literal heart, but the Bible often uses that term in connection with the innermost self, which includes motivations and feelings such as love. So Jehovah's wisdom, like his other qualities, is governed by love. Naturally, Jehovah's wisdom is perfectly trustworthy. It is so far above our own wisdom that God's word lovingly urges us. Trust in Jehovah with all your heart, and do not rely on your own understanding. In all your ways, take notice of him, and he will make your path straight. Let us delve into Jehovah's wisdom so that he may draw closer to our wise God. Do you recall the last time you received a letter from a loved one who lives far away? Few things bring us much pleasure as a heartfelt letter from someone we hold dear. We are delighted to hear about his well-being, his experiences, and his plans. Such communication brings loved ones closer. Even if they are physically far away, what then could bring us more pleasure than to receive a written message from the God we love? Jehovah has, in a sense, written us a letter in his word, the Bible. In it, he tells us who he is, what he has done, what he proposes to do, and much more. Jehovah has given us word because he wants us to be close to him. Our wise God chose the best possible way to communicate with us. There is incomparable wisdom in the way the Bible is written and what it contains. Why a written word? Some may wonder, why did Jehovah not use a more dramatic method, say a voice from heaven, to communicate with humans? In fact, Jehovah did at times speak from heaven by means of angelic representatives. He did so, for example, when he gave the law to Israel. The voice of the heaven was awe-inspiring, so much that the terrified Israelite asked that Jehovah not speak with him in a manner, but that would communicate through Moses. The law, consisting of some 600 statutes, was thus transmitted to Moses orally, word for word.